Hello and welcome to another episode of FarmGirlFibers. My name is Shauna and I'm your host and also the dyer behind FarmGirlFibers on Etsy. I'm glad you're joining me today. Today is, I think it's August, yes. I know it's August. It's August 14th, Tuesday. And summer vacation has been over for over a week now, and my son is in first grade, so I've been meaning to podcast for a little bit, and I just didn't get around to it last week, so here I am today. I'm going to try to make this a bit shorter of an episode than previous ones, so I'll probably have to do like a shop update video separate or something, but all the info about the shop is on Instagram. You can find me on Instagram at slhargis and also on Ravelry as slhargis. There is a podcast group on Ravelry that I started, but there's not very many people in it. There's hardly anybody in it at the moment. I need to invite some people, but I'm just not sure who to invite, I guess. So anyways, there's that. If anybody has any suggestions on maybe knit-alongs that we could do, that would be great. And I don't know if there's any more. Have I missed anything? My Etsy shop is FarmGirlFibers. And at the moment it has quite a bit of yarn, some dyed to order, some ready to ship. And it has some made to order bags. And I just added some beaded stitch markers yesterday. And they're really, really cute beaded stitch markers. There's some ghosts, pumpkins, socks, and ponies right at the moment. I'm also planning some mini skein sets for Halloween, and there's a few Halloween colors in there already. And so, anyways, lots of stuff going on over at FarmGirlFibers Etsy shop. I might be changing my Instagram towards FarmGirlFibers. I'm not 100% sure, but it might be easier for people to find. I don't know. I've not decided that yet. But anyway, so I'm not going to talk about every single thing that I've been working on, but I'll talk about most everything. And first up, I have a few finished objects. So back in July, we went on a road trip to, not really a road trip, a short trip to Ohio to visit some family. So luckily my dad went so he could drive, and I sat in the back and knit the whole way there and the whole way back. But on the way up there, I finished my test knit for Tristin of Dragon Hoard Yarn, and this was her Riddle of the Sphinx socks. So the spiders, and then it says spider down here. I'm using my phone as the camera, so I think everything's going to be in reverse. I'm sorry, but anyway, spider because of the riddle in book number 4 of Harry Potter, the Harry Potter and the Goblet of Fire. So this was my first one I did. Now I did have to go up a little bit of a needle size. I probably should have went up to a size 2. I did all the sock in size 1. Then for the color work, I did a size 1.5, and probably I should have done a size 2 because my color work is still a little bit tighter. But anyway, so the spiders I thought were going to be like extremely hard to do, but really they were super easy. And I really enjoyed this a lot, even though I'm not too awfully great with color work. So I did this one first, and then I wanted to see what it would be like to have the spiders in the brighter color, and I definitely like this one better because it has more contrast between the gray and the plum. This is all knit picks. The gray tweed is Dove Heather. The lime green, neon green, I'm not really sure what it is, but I think it was when they had the Knit Picks Brights last year and they were going out of stock or whatever, they're discontinuing them. I ordered a few, 2 or 3. I know I ordered a pink and I ordered this. So I don't know, it might be pickle juice, but I'm not 100% sure. I don't think they sell the green anymore. But I did get some neon dye, so I can make a green that's very similar to that. I'm calling it radioactive. But the green that I'm now offering for mini skeins at the moment, or if you want the whole skein, just let me know. But it's a semi-solid, and it's that color right there, pretty much. So anyways, the dark plum, I'm pretty sure is Duchess Heather. Almost positive. But I didn't keep the bands, so anyway. My afterthought heel has a hole right there that I need to sew up. I didn't notice that. But I didn't do afterthought heel on both of these. And I'm not really sure, like, I never can get the Kitchener stitch correct. So I Kitchenered, you know, the heels, and then I had holes in it, and for some reason I have holes in the corner of my afterthought heels on this one. I don't know why. I'll sew them up, and it looks like I probably have a hole here in the corner. I've been doing the 3-needle bind off now on my last couple of socks, and that seems to work out a lot better than the Kitchener, because I always have holes, and so I don't know why. But anyway, so that was one finished object. This pattern is now available on Ravelry, so it's very fun. I also worked a lot on my Burrow socks while I was gone on a little trip, and seems like whenever I started on the trip, I was working, I don't know where I was at on this sock. But anyways, I finished this one that Saturday, and then the Sunday when we was on our way back, I worked on this one. I started it that Sunday morning and worked on it and got, I don't know, all the way to the heel, or maybe I did the heel. I don't know if I did the heel in the car. I don't think I did the heel that day, because we got to where we was going around some curves and stuff. But anyways, I've been doing my socks where I start off, I cast on with a 1.5. I think that's a 2.5 millimeter. And that way, if I'm doing, my calves are quite large, so I've started casting on with 1.5 to make it, you know, more stretchier, and then after the ribbing, I switch to a size 1 and decrease as I go down until I get to 56 stitches. So I start off with 64 stitches, and then, you know, somewhere in here I decrease, then I decrease again, and then I have 56. Well, this sock I did that just right, but on this one I did the cuff. Then I got a little carried away and forgot to change needles. So I went and I did my decreases, and I got, like, you know, all the way to here, and realized I hadn't changed needles. So I thought about ripping it out, but I thought, no, I worked on this literally the whole way back from, you know, Ohio all through Kentucky, and so I wasn't going to do it again. And I tried it on. I'm pretty sure it'll be fine. It's just 1/4 millimeter difference. Now, you can tell a bit of a, oh goodness, it's quite a bit bigger, yeah. But I still think it'll be okay. I'm not redoing it. I did use Patton's Croy for the heel. This is my first time using Patton's Croy, and it definitely looks like and feels like it would be a sturdy, hard wearing sock yarn, but it seems a bit thicker than this sock yarn here. So this is the Burrow Nomadic yarns on the twisty sock, which is an 80-20 blend. It's a high twist, so it's a little bit plumper than the normal sock yarn, but the Patton's Croy is even plumper than that, I think. So I'm not sure, might be a little bit warm for me to use as socks, you know, everyday wearing socks. But I think doing the heel is going to work out good, because that's going to be the part that gets the most wear. I did, I think, 10.5 inches from top to the heel, and then I did a heel flap and gusset. I don't know what they might call this heel turn, but it's in the pattern by Kay, the Crazy Sock Lady, in her round back roomies sock pattern, maybe in all of her sock patterns. But it's really simple. You don't have to do any, German short rows or wraps and turns or something like that. So I really like this heel turn here. It's very, very easy to do. Also, I downloaded the free pattern from, what is that does Tin Can Knits, and it's, I think, the Barley socks. It's a worsted weight socks with the garter panel on the front, and their heel is very, very, very similar. It's almost the same thing. So maybe this is a common heel turn. I don't really know anything about that. Just in the last few months have I started doing heel flaps and gussets. So I really haven't gotten to wear them much because it was getting too warm. I think there was one pair that I did with heel flap and gusset that I could actually wear some before it got too hot. But anyways, from what I've tried them on, I think they're going to fit a lot better and not move around on my heel so much. So I like doing that. Another thing that I finished while we was on our way up there, and got like a pulled stitch somehow, but anyways, it's the Brioche Pussycat Hat. Let's see if I can put it on. Oh, okay. So I made one of these for my cousin to take to her up there, and then I also started me one. Can you see? Yep. Okay, it looks a little weird with my hair braided, I think, maybe. I don't know. Anyway, I really like it. Don't know exactly how much I'm gonna wear it because I don't know that I'm the type to wear, you know, pussycat ears very often, but I like it. It was fun to make. I love brioche, and it's cute. So anyways, really like this pattern. It was super easy. You do a 1x1 twisted rib for the brim, and that works out perfectly because the knit stitches flow into the brioche. I used my Tits Out Collective colorway. Can you see it? So this is the color I dyed for the Tits Out Collective, and I called it if I want exposure, I'll get my Tits Out Squeeze Your Boobies edition. So I really like this color, and I want to make some socks out of. This was the test skein. This was the one I did to see, you know, whenever I decided I was gonna get on board with that, I had one skein of barreled yarn left. So I had to make it work because I wouldn't have time to order. I went ahead and ordered some bare yarn, but it wouldn't be here in time to get this ready for the July 1st release. So luckily it was a success, and so this was my test skein. So it was on a different base than what I ended up ordering for you know, for the real sale. So I kept this as just, you know, a test. The real skein had a bit more yellow. The final color, I think, had a bit more yellow in it, because I wanted to fill in some of the bare spots. But in all, it was practically the same. And so I kept this, and for my cousin's hat, I used some leftover from Wolfiend. It was I think it was Winter is Coming. I'm pretty sure that's what it was anyway. Almost 100% sure that it was Winter is Coming by Wolfiend. And the pattern for this says that it suggests using a high twist. Well, the 75-25, this Tits Out color, was not high twist. So I used the high twist for the contrast, and it seems to work out pretty good. Then for mine, I had this purpley pink fuchsia. I don't know what it would be called. I dyed it up for a sweater, that I did, and it's on 100% superwash merino, and it's a high twist yarn, or it says it's a high twist yarn on Wool to Die. It's from Wool to Die For. But anyways, I thought that'll work. So I paired this, and there's not much contrast, you know, but I like it like that. It works good for me. So you can tell they kind of blend together, but I still like it. It's nice and squishy, and very nice. Then another finished object, which while we were up, I started this back, I think early July maybe, and while we were up there, I got all the way to the shoulder seams and then put it on pause and finished it whenever I got back. But this is the Tegna by Boyland Networks, and at first I thought I wouldn't make this because I didn't need an oversized cropped sweater and short sleeves. Even if it's short sleeves, I'm not wearing wool in Tennessee in the summer. Although I did actually put on a sweater at the fair this year, but it was unusually cool. It's never 60-something degrees in July. But this year at the fair it was. I'm not complaining. I loved it. But anyway, it was just unusual. So I decided I would use linen cotton. It's Lindy chain from Knit Picks. It's a linen cotton blend. I don't remember the percentages. I'm sorry. And I think it was Wisteria, the color. It's a light purpley color, almost mauve, I guess. Not sure. But anyway, I followed the pattern exactly. I knit size medium because that's what it suggested. I started to go down a size to a size small, but I thought, no, we'll do the medium. The schematics say that it's going to be like 60 inches or something circumference here, and that might be true because as you can see, it's quite large. But when you're wearing it, it doesn't feel that large because the way the lace kind of bunches up. So it actually, even though I'm not used to wearing, I wear loose stuff, I just don't wear stuff with like 10 inches of positive ease. So I usually go like 4 or 5 inches. But anyway, I still really like it, and whenever I was wearing it, I'm really comfortable in it. I don't feel like it's too big whenever I wear it. And I really like the yarn. It's soft, it's cool, it's comfy. I put a little camisole or tank top under it, and it's not too hot. I really need to put a camisole or tank top under it because it's a little too see-through for me. See, you can definitely see my neck in the back behind this. So anyway, I did make it, I think, 13 inches from underarm to bottom. I thought I might add a little bit, but I think I ended up making it the same length as what she said, because I read somewhere that linen can stretch out, cotton and linen can stretch out some as you wear it, like the weight pulling down on it. So it comes right to the top of my jeans or shorts, which is really where I wanted it to. So I wear a slightly longer tank top under it, and that way, you know, whenever I raise my arms or something, nobody has to look at my tummy. So that works out perfect. And I don't think I have anything else to add. I did everything as it said. I think I did knit this right here just a little bit longer, like maybe I added an inch or half inch to the arm opening. So I think the sleeve had just a little bit more, like I think the sleeve was the stitch count for the size large, and everything else was stitch count for the size medium. But I think that's it. So there's that. And oh, another finished object that I just finished last week And I still need to weave in the ends. But anyway, a cowl. This is made out of my first hand spun project, so I'm really happy with it. The yarn ended up being super duper bulky, which I don't care. It's so squishy. This is fiber from Created by Elsie, and if you're wanting some spinning fiber, she has the most beautiful colors. Maybe not the most, they're all beautiful, but anyway, she has some gorgeous colors. And I just decided to make a cowl out of it. It's just a seed stitch, knit one, purl one, and then, you know, turn it around, knit one, purl one. So it might be just a little bit wide. I don't know, I've never made a cowl, like, not really. Especially not a bulky one. But anyways, it's going to be nice and warm. I still need to block it, so I think I'm going to try to stretch it just a bit whenever I block it. But I can also fold it over if I want to. It'll be super warm on the, you know, few days that we get cold weather here. And you might call this a finished object, but another skein of hand spun that still needs to be washed, and you have to smack it, like, bam it against the floor. I've not done that yet. This has some really thick and thin spots in it also, but I'm getting better. This, oh, did I mention, this is Polworth, 100% Polworth. I like to spin in with it. This is 100% BFL, and it's a combination of white BFL and grayish brownish BFL, which is really cool. It's why I bought it. And so this is undyed. This is just, you know, the natural color of the fiber. But the BFL is really fluffy, like it flies away. And for me, it's harder to spin. I don't know. It just seems to like fall apart easier. So I don't know if I'll be spinning BFL for a while. Just until I get a little bit more experienced with drafting and everything. Because like I said, it does tend to fly away and fall apart. But anyway, I don't know what I'll make with this. I may actually give this to my mom because she likes to knit with bulky yarn. She's knit one thing. But anyway, she liked it with the bulky yarn, so I might see if she wants to use it, or I might make her a cowl with it. I don't know. But it looks like we're still going to have a long episode because I can't stop talking. So I'm going to take a quick break right now, and then I'll be back. Okay, I'm back. And I'll run through the whips pretty quickly. Let's start with this one first because it's the oldest one. And you saw this before quite a while back. It's the Vortex Shawl by Charlotte Bory. I really like her shawl patterns because, now, this is the first one I've knit, and well, I started on another one, but anyways, it's not that I've knit a bunch of them, but I like the idea of her shawl patterns because they don't have super long rows, like, you know, crescent shaped shawls, and all the shawls that you see people making end up having really long rows where you have to knit, like, maybe, I know that I've watched the, you know, Impressionist shawl on podcasts as people were knitting it, and I think people said that they had like 500 or more stitches on the needle, and that's a lot of stitches. That would take me forever to get through a row, I think. But anyway, for Charlotte Bory's patterns, most of them, at least the ones I looked at, start off small and they end small. So this right here is the most stitches that will be on the needles for this shawl. And I have it on kind of a short cord, so I can't stretch it out that much. But anyway, this little part here is going to make a point, so that way the center section here is going to look like a diamond. I'm not doing a very good job showing it, but anyways, so this is supposed to be the wrong side, and this is the right side. So I'm really liking this pattern I was almost done with the brioche, and I think on our way up there in the car ride up, I finished the brioche, and then sometime up there I did the, or maybe on the car ride, I don't remember. At some point I picked up the stitches. No, I'm sorry, you don't pick up stitches. I started on the garter stitch part, and then I got pretty good ways through the garter stitch on the way back. I think, I don't remember exactly, but anyways, I know on the way back I worked on this garter stitch portion and the Burrow socks. That's all I worked on the way back from Ohio. And so anyway, I'm now back to the point where I am starting back on the brioche part, and I put it down because I don't know, I guess I needed a break. But back over here I've got the yarns ready to go for the brioche section, and I'm not really sure why that stitch is like that. I don't know if it's supposed to be like that or not. Hopefully it's supposed to be like that, but anyway, I don't know. I'll probably mess something up knowing me, but I'll get it figured out. I'll make it work. I'm not taking it out, that's for sure. So, oh look, the one on this side's like that too. It's all stretched out, so maybe they're supposed to be like that. But let's talk about the yarn. So this is Bad Wolf Girl Studios Coraline. I'm pretty sure it's the Coraline. It's really awesome. Blues, greens, blacks, neon colors. I don't usually go for the neons, but this mixture of blue and green really spoke to me. And I got some neon dyes this summer, and I dyed up some yarns using the neons, and I'm really starting to like the neon. Now, I wouldn't want to make a whole sweater in it. I would never wear it, but for a shawl or socks or even mittens or hat, I think I could do some neon sometimes. So we got Bad Wolf Girl Studios, Coraline. This turquoise I dyed, and this dark charcoal, almost, well, it's pretty much black. I don't know. That I dyed also, and that's actually on my yak base that I don't have at the moment, but I love, so I'll be getting the yak at some point because I absolutely love using the yak yarn. I love dyeing it, and I love using it. But anyway, this is 75, no, I'm sorry. I think this turquoise is 100% superwash merino, I think. This is 75/25 merino nylon, superwash merino and nylon. And there's my beaded guitar progress keeper. And I guess that's about all to say about the Vortex Shawl. I really need to get this finished by the time cold weather comes around, cooler weather, because I don't think it would be too hot. I think I can wear it. You could wear this in the fall for sure, but I really like it. I like the brioche. I like how squishy it is. I like the colors. I just really like this project, even though it's taken me forever to do it. Then what's next? I have started finally on the Like a Cloud cardigan. There's not a whole bunch to say about this. I'm about an inch and a half away from being ready to pick up for the front side. I'm not really sure how to do that. I don't know why we put a stitch marker in the center. I don't know. Maybe I was supposed to leave it, like hook it. You know what? I was probably supposed to actually hook it in here so I would know where the center is. I'm a genius. Anyway, I'll figure it out. So here's the front. And I really love this texture. I've wanted to make this pattern ever since I saw it on her podcast. The journal thing she does. I just love the texture of it. It makes it so, like, it looks so cuddly and cozy. And then it's I like the shape. I don't think I've ever had a drop shoulder cardigan, but I really like the idea of one because the raglan cardigans seem to fall back on me, so hopefully this this one will not. But anyway, I really like it, and so just posting it to, I don't know how long, 6.5, something, a little over 6 inches, and then you pick up for the front and do the front panel separately, and then I guess you join under here so that way you're knitting, you know, all the way around, almost all the way around. But there's, as far as I can tell, there's not going to be any shaping involved. It's just going to be, you know, the box, like a boxy design, drop shoulder where it's like a rectangle with sleeves. At least that's what I think. I've not read ahead to see about if there's, I know there's not a button band to pick up afterwards. I'm not read ahead to see if there's any edging. If there's not any edging stitches, I'm going to try to add in like 3 stitches for an I-cord because I don't do, my edges are always messy. And I don't want this to be, I don't want the whole front of my cardigan to be like this. This is going to be the sleeves, you're not going to see it, so it doesn't really matter. But I just don't want the front of my cardigan, the whole front of it, the front edges to be messy. So if the pattern doesn't include any edge stitches or anything to do about, like, to make the edge neater, I think I will cast on 3 extra stitches or pick up 3 extra, I don't know, do something, somehow or another, get an I-cord edging in there if I can figure it out. But if not, I'll do an applied I-cord afterwards or something. But hopefully I can get, you know, an I-cord edging incorporated in the pattern, or she might have already thought about it because, you know, she makes a ton of stuff. But anyway, that's that one. Oh, this is Knit Picks Stroll in the ash color. I got this, and I got the linen cotton blend whenever they were doing their sale earlier this summer. So a whole, I hope I got enough, but I looked at the yardage and got 6 or 7 or something, 6 maybe, 6 balls of the yarn. So should be enough, and I'm knitting a size medium because in the pattern description it said the pattern show, or the sample pictures, the cardigan she was wearing was a size medium for a 36-inch bust. So I thought, if it looks good on that one, it'll look good on me, because that's what bust size I have. I don't think I'm going to make it as long as the pattern is, though, because I have really short legs. Like, my torso's not that short, but my legs are really short, so I don't want it to come down to my knees. So I'll end it, I don't know exactly. I'll probably make it to where it comes right to my hip, probably. Right to my my hip bones or whatever. So that way I can wear it with jeans and whatever. So, and it'll still be, you know, longer, but not too long. So I think that's my plan on that. To end it, make it, you know, 15 or 16 inches, 17 inches maybe, and then, yeah, so maybe it would be like from neck to hem around 20 to 22 inches. Then something I started the other day, Saturday or Sunday, because I had to knit something with this yarn. So this is from the Bad Wolf Girl and Simply Serving kit that they did, Slughorn's Christmas Party, and it's just a really neat neon green with black speckles, neon green speckles, black speckles, and lots of bear and gray color mixed throughout. So very pretty, $75.25 for that. And I mentioned I had gotten some neon dyes this summer, so I've been practicing with those, playing around with those. And this is Witching Hour. I love this, one of my favorite colors that I've dyed, and it's got purples, different shades of purples, some pink, pinky purple, different shades of blue, and some neon green, and then some black speckles. So I really wanted to make something with this, and this is my new Clover base 8515 superwash merino nylon, and it is so squishy. After you dye it and it dries, it just like blooms, it like plumps up, and it's so nice. I love it. But this is the Bendy Arrow shawl with a slight modification, and I really am loving how this, I really wanted something just simple garter stitch this weekend, and I just love it. So this is the right side, and in the pattern, and you know, if you look at all the projects on Instagram or Ravelry, there's yarn overs, 2 rows of yarn overs going through here, and I started off, I did the yarn overs, I didn't like it. Mine were looking a little bit messy, like one side you could barely see a yarn over, and the other side the yarn overs were huge. So I decided I was going to take that out. And whenever I took the yarn overs out, I still needed something to make a spine. So I added in this little ridge of knit stitches. So I just followed the pattern exactly. I still did the yarn overs, but on the reverse, I knit through the back loop to close the yarn overs up, and then I purl this stitch in between the yarn over. So that just makes it have a nice knit stitch going down the front. So I'm right at the point where I'm going to start strapping in this color, and I just really love this a lot. So, oh, here's the little charm that came with Slughorn's Christmas Party, the little slug club charm. That's the cutest little slug I've ever saw. And I'm glad I got that. I was about not to, just because I've been buying too much yarn, but I just couldn't pass it up. Simply Serving charms are just wonderful, and then I always love Meg's yarn, so it was just perfect. Also, I've ordered from Little Bean Loves Yarn. I need to trim this up. But anyways, I finished this sock Friday night. This is the Forever and Always sock, patterned by Little Bobbin Knits. And I just thought this yarn, I've wanted this Moony. This is Little Bean's Moony colorway. And I've wanted it ever since it came out, ever since she first dyed it. I just never had ordered it. So I thought, I'm going to order some. And whenever I got it, I thought this yarn would be perfect for this pattern. So again, I did a 10.5 inch tall leg, so that's not called for. I also changed it up and did a 2x2 ribbing. I did the twisted rib. I think I did 30 rows of 2x2 ribbing. And then 10.5 inch leg. I did the heel flap and gusset like I normally have been doing, and that's also the heel that's called for in the pattern. And then I did my toe that I have started doing, like it's almost rounded, but it's kind of flat on top. But anyway, where you just decrease every other round. I did the 3 needle bind off, and that's that. I haven't started the second one yet because it's been a while since I've done a vanilla sock, so I thought I'd go ahead and get a vanilla sock started. So me and Shauna of Bean and Bam Hand Dyed, she is Shauna Knits on Instagram. So we did two collaborations. We did a fall and a Halloween. This is the Halloween yarn, and the fall yarn club or kit sold out the same day. There's still some of this left, and it's very I just love the green in there. It's just awesome. So I yesterday, was it yesterday? Yeah, pretty sure it was yesterday morning. I decided I needed some vanilla socks, so I decided to cast on this because I really wanted to see what this looked like knit up, because it's got like the most awesome speckle ever. There's some red, there's some purple, a lot of green, a lot of black, and then some of the spots, I don't know if you'll be able to see it, but like that strip right there, it has all these different speckles all in one little place. So that's just really, really cool. But anyway, went ahead and started that. I've not decided what I want to use for the heel yet. I might not do a contrast heel. I might just keep on with the same color and do the same color heel, like, you know, do the same color throughout. I might end up putting in some lime green or a dark purple for the heel, but I'm not sure. I'll just use this, I think. But anyways, we'll see when we get to the heel. These are going to be tall socks also, so they'll be probably 10.5-inch leg. And I guess that's all to say about that. I'm using the Knit Picks double points, which I need to get another set of 5-inch long size 1 double point needles. So that's all the works in progress that I've been, you know, really putting any time into. I guess we can call this a work in progress. I did spend a lot of time spinning in the last little bit. This is a new spindle from Snyder Spindles. I had to have it because it has the atom on top. Pretty cool. But I'm really proud of how this is turning out here. It's so thin and even, so much thinner and even than the first bits that I have spun, and I can't wait to see what it looks like. Here's all the fiber. So for this one, I undid the braid, I tore it in half, so here's the half. Then for the first, and I'll do this again for the second half, but I kept tearing it vertically until I got what I think is considered pencil roving. And I'm actually getting close to being done with that first half, but I got all these little bunches. So the first two, I didn't do the same color sequence. Like, if I ended with yellow, I started with yellow, and then I ended with red and started with red. Then I decided there's going to be huge spaces where there's like a lot of yellow and a lot of red. So I decided after, on the third bit, it ended with yellow, so I decided I would start with red. So that's what I've been doing now. So whenever I go to ply it up, I'll probably try and get that first little bit last, because that way it won't mess up the whole, I don't know how it's going to work when I apply it up. But anyway, so I end with yellow, I start with red, and then I spin each little piece, and so I'm sure it'll look good. It'll be alright. I also got some matching semi-solid blue, a denim, to go along with this color. So this blue here, she had a semi-solid that was the same blue. It's created by Elsie, There's all her info. This is Superwash Merino Bamboo Nylon. I don't know the percentages, but anyways, that don't matter. Superwash Merino Bamboo Nylon. And so I'm gonna have this rainbow color. I think this is the color wheel. Then I'm gonna have the denim, dark blue, and I decided I wanted to try to do the Shift Cowl by Andrea Mallory when I finally get that spun up someday. So she has some coordinating red and orange, but I didn't really want the bright color. So I'm gonna try this. This is Winter's Eve, and I think it'll work because it's got grays and blues and some brown. So if it doesn't match, I'll just get a different color that does match, maybe. And then last thing I'm going to talk about is a purchase from Little Bean Loves Yarn. The bag got tied up. Oh well. She was having a sale, so I decided I would order some sweaters quantity. I've already took the tag off of this one because I wanted to see what it looked like. I always like to look at the yarn, like open it up and look at it. But this is Prongs, and it's got lots of different colors in here. So here's a good little section to show you all the colors. So we've got a little bit of blue, some green, some brown, and some yellow. And I think that's about all. So this was another color that I really liked ever since I first saw her dye it up. But I ordered 3 skeins, which should be enough for a nice sweater. I don't know what kind of sweater yet. I like her new little tags too. They're cute. This is the 75-25 everyday sock. So there's 463 yards per skein. And I don't know what I want to make. I'm thinking I want to design a sweater because I've been wanting to make a sweater for a while that was a drop shoulder and had 2 cables, like a cable running down each side, but not like a huge cable, just like, you know, that big of a cable. So cable down this side and this side, and make it slightly oversized, maybe 8 to 10 inches positive ease, which I don't know, maybe I should have ordered 4, but she only had 3 in stock. So maybe 3 will be enough. But have it mostly stockinette stitch with just the 2 cables. And I think this yarn would work really good for a cabled sweater because it's dyed very similar to the Mooney color. It's got slightly different colors in it, but you know, with it not being overly speckled, I think it would work very, very good for a cabled design. But I've never designed a sweater, so I'm not sure how I would shape the top. I don't even know if it's possible to have the top shaped like I want. I would like to have a drop shoulder sweater, like sort of like the Weekender, but not have it up quite so high, like have it come right here, because it looks like the Weekender like touches right at her neck, and I'd like for the neckline to scoop just a bit. So I don't know if that's possible because it seems like all the drop shoulder sweaters have a high neck, but I might just deal with the neckline being a little bit tall. Maybe, I don't know. But I really like the shape of the Weekender, but I don't want the reverse stockinette, and obviously I don't want worsted weight. I want it to be fingering weight. So I don't really know what I'm going to do with this yarn yet, but I really think I am going to try to design a cabled sweater. Maybe I can make like a little baby size and see if it might look decent. because, you know, if you make a baby sweater, it's not going to take as long to make a big sweater. So if I screw up the neckline, I won't have wasted, you know, 2 or 3 months making the rest of the sweater. But anyway, I'm going to really need to finish something before I start on a sweater, I think. I still have one sleeve on the swag, so maybe if I finish that one sleeve on the swag, then I can start on this sweater with the prongs, and that way I'll have a sweater and I'll have a cardigan. But anyway, this ended up being quite a lengthy podcast. Sorry if you got bored, but I did have a lot to talk about. I'm going to try to, I know I say this every time, I'm going to try to start podcasting more consistently, so that way I don't have as much to talk about each time, because I'm not very good at talking for long periods of time, and I get tired of talking, so then I seem to rush through it, and it probably sounds like I don't really want to do a podcast, but really it's just that I don't do very good talking for long periods of time. My throat starts to get dry, and I don't know. I'm just not a very big talker. I guess because I'm not used to talking for a long time. I try to be as quiet as possible. Most days I don't know. I'm always the person sitting in the corner or sitting at the table, listening to everybody's conversation, and, you know, some days I hop in the conversation, but most times I'm completely satisfied to sit and knit while everybody else is talking, and I listen to what they're saying, and I just kind of contribute every once in a while to the conversation. So filming a podcast where I have to talk for a long period of time, it's not that I don't want to film the podcast, it's just that my voice gets a little tired by the end. So anyway, I do really enjoy sharing all the projects, and hope that, you know, can inspire somebody else or whatever. A lot of times I like watching podcasts just to see what everybody's knitting, because I don't knit fast enough. I kind of knit a little bit fast, but I still can't knit everything. Nobody can knit everything. So being able to see what other people are knitting, and seeing how, you know, the colors look in certain projects and stuff, it really gives me, you know, helps me to decide what I want to knit, I guess. And it helps me to see if I want to, you know, make the latest sweater. Like the swag sweater, I wasn't really sure I wanted to make it until I started seeing some different color combinations and seeing, you know, up close the lace design really up close, and then the texture on the body. So after I saw some podcasts, then some people knitting it, then I was like, you know, this actually could be something I could see myself wearing. So, you know, that's kind of why I want to do a podcast, I guess, is to share things I'm doing and kind of, you know, help people to want to knit more stuff, I guess. I don't know. But I'm going to end it here today, and for shop update, check out Instagram, because I've posted all the pictures on Instagram, and my shop is FarmGirlFibers on Etsy, so etsy.com/shop/FarmGirlFibers. I'll try to link it in the show notes. As slow as my internet is, it'll probably be tomorrow before this actually uploads, or possibly even the next day after that. I don't know, but I think that's all I have to talk about at the moment. So hopefully I will get back in a week or two and won't have so much stuff to talk about all at once, so I don't bombard you with all this stuff. But I guess that's that. So I'll see you next time.